Hello Simmers! Today I'm going to be going over 5 cons or 5 reasons an online Sims mode wouldn't work. Personally, I'm hoping this won't be more than a mode if it does happen, since the majority of the fan base has become invested in the single player experience. This is Riley, finally returning with another episode of Riley Plays. If you're interested in hearing speculation around the Sims franchise, particularly Sims 4 and Sims 5, as well as speculation and ideas around other life sims, such as Paralives, consider subscribing to this channel. I'll be doing another video on why an online mode would work, since I'd like to explore the pros and cons of the idea. But for now, let's dive into the potential problems an online mode could present. The first issue is mod compatibility. It's not clear how mods would be integrated in an online capacity. If your sim has a specific hairstyle or even a custom trait or animation, is that going to show up in another person's world? If another person didn't have that mod, it's not clear how the file would still show up on their end. There could also be issues with lag. If you had an area swarming with 20 Sims, and half of them were decked head to toe in Alpha CC, could this compromise those with lower end machines? If one person's machine is struggling to load up all the custom content, it may also cause everyone's game to appear laggy, as the other person affects the live server. There are many games which allow creators to upload their own avatars, made from scratch, such as social MMOs and virtual reality rooms. However, would the engine be designed with this in mind? The Sims has never been that type of game. Games such as Animal Crossing, which feature the ability to create your own characters and play with friends, don't have mods. The developers may decide to remove mods for this mode, but doing so would exclude a massive portion of the community. It's no secret that mods are the backbone of the Sims community, and many don't even use EA's assets. Forcing someone who only uses modded hair or alpha-style create-a-sim items to use only EA-made items could be off-putting to people, particularly if they only have the base game. Mod implementation would be challenging, but not having mods would remove a big part of what makes The Sims The Sims. Secondly, there's the pressure to keep up with your friends. If you have a friend who's a die-hard collector or who has the most beautiful house, you're going to start feeling pressure to own the same packs they do. Admiring your friend's horse and the barn they've built is going to compel you to buy the farming expansion. If your friend has a vampire in their household, you're going to buy the vampire pack. Those who can't afford all of the packs, or even any of them, will start to feel left out the more beautiful their friends' homes and Sims become. People can't help it. Simmers will start comparing themselves to their friends, and many who do have the money will purchase packs they may not have wanted in their single-player mode in order to emulate what their friends have created. This is another way EA will squeeze more money out of people. It's not illegal, but it does seem kind of crummy. People will get sucked into a literal keeping up with the Joneses scenario, and EA will profit from that pressure. My next point also involves EA taking more of our hard-earned cash. An online mode may require a subscription, either to use the mode at all or to access extra content within it. DLC items may be released to subscribers World of Warcraft style, forcing them to continue paying if they don't want to lose all of the content they've decked their homes and Sims in. A $5 monthly fee may be necessary to even use the mode, with many players ultimately shelling out $60 a year to EA just because they feel pressure from seeing how much fun their friends are having. Once again, those who can't or won't pay for this service will also feel left out as their friends have fun without them. I feel bad for the 12-year-old who's going to sit at home and feel left out because their friends are playing together in a service their parents won't or can't pay for. Companies like Nintendo have already received flack for requiring you to pay a monthly $12 fee to visit the islands of your friends in Animal Crossing. Subscription-based gaming is nothing new, but for those of us used to a single-player Sims game and reluctant to hand EA more money, it could create an ugly situation. It would just be seen as EA at it again, doing everything to take money from the players without having to offer much in return. Next, there's the risk to the base game. If the engine has to be designed to accommodate other expansions, routing between real-world players, social interactions, graphics for lower-end computers, and even mod implementation, and everything else that goes into an online platform, corners may be cut. Features like pools or ghosts may be cut if it's decided they don't fit into an online capacity. An otherwise realistic art style may be pared down so as to fit within the online aesthetic, even if it's not ideal for the single-player mode. Features like the color wheel or editing the hair could be removed if EA decided such features would cause issues in the online version. This is what happened in the case of Sims 4, and many believe it is the reason Sims 4 suffered. Even now, it's considered irredeemable because the engine it was ultimately built on was designed for a pared-down experience, not one which could handle the complexity of a full game. Some features, such as toddlers, were added to the game with time, but others, like a true color wheel, or color for the tips or highlights of hair, won't ever be added because the game's engine needed to be designed from the get-go to handle such demands. The engine was designed with an online experience in mind, which means it's just not powerful enough to include many of the deeper features Simmers consider necessary to a true entry of the franchise. If a feature can't fit into the online mode for whatever reason, EA, for the sake of keeping consistency across all their modes, may axe the feature completely, even from the single-player mode. Finally, there's the issue of privacy. Every online game faces this problem, but it would be a new one for the Sims community as a whole. Yes, there already is an online component within swapping mods, watching SimTube videos, exchanging houses on the gallery, and interacting with other Simmers in forums and on social media. However, meeting people directly through the game seems more direct, and even less safe if the wrong person shows up. What if a troll decides to harass you? What if a troll makes fun of your home or the Sims you've created? Unless we upload our creations to the gallery, we're used to having a certain degree of privacy when it comes to our Sims, our builds, and the stories we try to tell. Having random strangers come up and comment on our creations or on us is a nightmare for many Simmers. Knowing EA, they may not be prepared for the types of issues which can arise from a true online mode. If they can't even fix game-breaking bugs, how are they going to deal with moderating a global community? Are they going to ban certain words in the chat box? Will they have separate rooms for the 30-year-olds who play the game and might want to discuss wicked whims, versus the teenagers or little kids who may be online as well? How are they going to keep a troll from going into a kid's chat room and causing problems? The players of The Sims are quite varied, especially in terms of age or taste, and tossing them all into the same environment seems like a disaster waiting to happen, especially for a team with a history of handling disasters poorly. Ultimately, a Sims online mode could create pressure on players to spend more, could cause features, such as toddlers or even mods, to be cut, and possibly even compromise the safety of some players. In my next video, I'll try to look for upsides to an online mode, since it seems more and more likely that there will be one. Were you horrified to hear that The Sims 5 may have an online mode? What are your concerns with it? Let me know, and if you enjoyed this content, consider liking this video and subscribing. Thank you for watching.